The Holy Quran comes over 23 years. It wasn't in a book form of a database, and it hasn't been put in a search engine. Nowadays, the Holy Quran has been put into a search engine, so you can actually do a search on the number of times the Quran say any word. The Holy Quran is actually full of numerical miracles that astonish everybody. We will show just a few of these mathematical miracles of Quran.
If you count some specific words, you will come across two very meaningful results. We would like to give some examples.
For instance, if you count the word punishment in the Holy Quran, throughout the Holy Quran is repeated 117 times. Whereas the word forgive is repeated 234 times inside the Holy Quran. If you would multiply 2 by 1, then you will have 234. This is very meaningful, right? Because Quran is the religion of morality. Allah orders believers, Allah commands Muslims to forgive rather than to punish. This is very meaningful.
Moreover, Allah's orders to His Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, using the word say is repeated 332 times, and the response, they said, is repeated 332 times.
The words word and hereafter are repeated 115 times equally.
Devil and angels, those two words are equally repeated 88 times.
Now heaven and hell, those two words are equally repeated 77 times.
Zakah is an Arabic word. Its translation is donation, financial donation that Muslim is supposed to give to poor people, and it is repeated 32 times. And the barakah, the blessing that comes of giving donation to poor people, is repeated 32 times. They are equally repeated. This is very meaningful again.
Now summer hot and winter cold, those words are repeated 5 times.
Richness and poverty, those two words are very interesting. Richness is repeated 26 times, whereas the poverty is the half of richness, which is 13.
And man and woman, those two words are repeated equally 23 times. Do you know the main idea those two numbers represent? Well, let me remind you if you remember that the chromosome number of the human being. A human body contains 46 different chromosomes. That comes the half of this 46, which is 23, comes from the father, and the other half, which is 23, comes from the mother. Whereas you have the same repetitions of the number, man and women, 23 to 23. If you add 23 to 23, you're gonna have 46, which will give you the chromosome number of a human being.
Now finally, I'd like to give you the meaning of land and sea. Land is repeated 13 times, whereas the word sea is repeated 32 times. Well, at the first sight, it doesn't seem meaningful. However, if you do a simple math, you're gonna have 45 as a result. And if you divide 13 by 45, you're gonna have 28.888%. And 32 divided by 45 is 71.111%. Now, do you have any idea what those percentages represent? Well, I'll tell you. All the land all over the world on the earth occupies 28.888% of the whole earth, and all the seas, oceans, rivers, all the water occupies 71.111% of the whole earth.
And now again, these repetitions of numbers are very meaningful and clearly represent to us and give us a good scientific evidence that the Holy Quran is the word of Allah. And it definitely cannot be the sculpture of man. This is impossible.